Well, the proposed minimum wage of 3,500 Rand for workers comes under the scanner at the COSATU CEC meeting today. The Trade Union Federation's leadership was visibly absent when Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa tabled the minimum wage report yesterday. COSATU wanted the base wage of 4,500 Rand. The reporters placed the wage at 3,500 Rand a month. COSATU spokesperson Sizwe Pamla says they will take the proposal back to the workers and get a mandate from them. On Sunday, the Deputy President said that the amount was just a proposal and was yet to be discussed by other partners of NEDLAC and the government. The Deputy President has promised that the national minimum wage will be implemented by year-end.
The panel are proposing that the national minimum wage in South Africa, which will have national coverage, with a few exceptions which they will deal with, should start off at 3,500 Rand per month, which amounts to 20 Rand per hour, and they will explain the rest.
Taking our proposal of 3,500, it's quite striking that that something around 47% of South Africans who do have work, who do sort of go to work every day, earn a wage below 3,500. So the impact of the national minimum wage would be quite important, and a sort of policy can take us some way towards addressing towards addressing issues of inequality in South Africa.
There is still the question of those unions that are still trying to amend their own constitutions to enable them to have the strike provision in their constitutions. And there are some unions that have not yet incorporated the balloting process in their own constitutions. So there's going to be a transitional period that will allow all registered trade unions to finally have this provision in their constitution.
I think there will be some degree of impact on job losses, but it's a lower figure than I think many were expecting the 3,500 Rand per month. And many of the employees that would be affected by that are in jobs which are in their own way essential. There are many agricultural workers, there are many domestic workers, there are many workers in the hospitality industry, and those jobs can't be shed. They're there through necessity. So I think we must expect probably a decline of sorts in employment opportunities, but at a number of around 3,500 Rand, my sense is that the impact on job losses would be fairly low.
As the Deputy President explained, this report contains just recommendations, not a binding report. It is going to be tabled back to the political principals at NEDLAC. Today, the Federation is convening a 3-day CEC. This report will also be presented to that 3-day CEC, allowing our affiliates and representatives of members to really engage with the report and give us a mandate. For us, we have acknowledged that it has moved from the 2,000 that was proposed by business and 2,500 that was proposed by government, but it does fall short to the 4.5 that we presented. So it's a report that will give us a lot to think about, but so far we have not necessarily engaged and we have not been given any mandate. So only at such time we'll be able to really give a more comprehensive response. Political principals will go and engage on these recommendations at NEDLAC. But for us, we think that the 3-day CC will really be able to give us a more focused mandate, because, like we have said, we are not going to accept anything that does not make an impact on the workers. We said this is about transforming the labor market. This is about increasing the starting salary base. So any other report, we have a responsibility to take it back to our members for the mandating process, because we do not just negotiate in a vacuum. We were given this mandate by workers in the 12th Congress, so we have an opportunity in the CEC to take this report back to members for engagement, and then take that mandate back to NEDLAC.
Well, meanwhile, the ANC has welcomed the NEDLAC Advisory Panel's national minimum wage proposal. The party says that the move will go a long way in giving effect to the electoral mandate of the ANC government to introduce a national minimum wage. The ANC has also welcomed the fact that NEDLAC is about to finalise a package of measures to reduce prolonged and violent strikes. Let's take a listen into some of the reactions coming in on the minimum wage recommendations.
So there was a previous report that was brought by National Treasury, who indicated that if we set the minimum wages at 3,500 Rand per month, there would be a loss of 715,000 jobs. And the report clearly comes out to say that research that was done was based on a developed country economic circumstances and not based on a country like South Africa.
We've been working on this issue for the last 18 months, and I think this is it is a fair and useful proposal. I think it shows thought and analysis. I think we have to understand what a minimum wage is. There will be people who will justifiably argue that this is not a living wage, this is not a decent wage, this is not a wage which workers need to earn a good life, and I think those are valid criticisms. But the idea of a minimum wage, of a national minimum wage, is to set a wage floor under which no worker is allowed to earn.